Okay, so here's a Passat TDI. It's a B5 or 5.5, I don't know. This is an '04, and it needs an alternator replacement. So a lot of people are acting crazy about the alternator because it's so close to this fan here that there's one bolt that you can't get out. So I'm going to show you how to do that without taking the front end off of the car or anything like that. So the first thing that you need to do is unplug the battery, the negative battery cable. And the reason why we do that is because there's a hot cable that's behind the alternator. And if you take that off and you don't take the battery off, I've already loosened this 10 mil bolt nut. So you put that away so it doesn't touch it. And then this cover here, it's got these little plastic covers. You pop them off. This one's missing so many, and I've already done this. And then there's the 10 mil nuts behind it. You pop this off. Put it aside, and here's the alternator, and it looks like it's sort of easy to get to, but really it's not, because there's a bolt all the way down there. You can see it? No, there's one 13 mil bolt here that's easy to get out, and then there's one down here at the bottom. It's right there, you can see it, but it's going to touch this pulley. So you got to get this pulley off, and this is how we're going to get this pulley off. In the back of this pulley here, this is the pulley you need to get off. You need to get this fan clutch and pulley off. So behind here, there's a space so you can put an Allen key. This is an 8 mil Allen key. So it's an Allen on the back, so you put this nice and tight, and then we're going to take the belt off. The belt tensioner is here. This one's a 19 mil, so I use a wrench for these because they're so close. And you put the 19 mil here, and then you push. It'll be counterclockwise to how you're looking at it. You push, it'll go down, and then you can take the belt off. Okay, so I did that. The belt's off. You just slip it off the alternator, and then just let it go. So now what we're going to have to do is, and this is the only way that I can figure to do this. See how when I spin this pulley, the Allen key goes back and forth? You're going to have to wedge this Allen key up against the alternator here and use a strap wrench and put it around this pulley here and pull the strap wrench counterclockwise from the way that you're looking. And this will hold the bolt in the back. This Allen key will hold the bolt in the back when it's up against the alternator like this, and you can spin this off. And also on this car, this pulley is a little bit greasy, so I just got like a little bit of brake cleaner. I just sprayed it on the towel, and we're just going to wipe this down, because you want this strap wrench to really grab this pulley really well. So you know, the more greasy it is, the more your strap wrench is going to spin off of there and not work. So we're just going to give this a nice little cleaning first. I'll put the strap wrench on. Okay, so the strap wrench just wouldn't get on this pulley. This is the pulley that you need to get it on, and it just kept slipping and slipping, and I couldn't get it to turn. So I remember the old trick from the old shop. You just stick the you stick this Allen key in here. The way that this engine turns happens to help you out with this. So what I did was I just put the belt back, so you don't need to take the belt off at all. You just put the belt back. If you can't get a strap wrench on it, then what you do is you just put the Allen key back, let it sit here. Everything is connected, and then just turn the engine over a couple times. And it should give you enough power to take this pulley. So now this is off, and I can move this any way I want to. And in fact, I think it'll go down a little bit. And so now we're able to, you know, pop this belt off now that that pulley's not there anymore. And we can get to this lower 13, which happens to be here. And the pulley was in the way. And the clutch itself is in the way. You can get the bolt out, but the bolt only comes out so far, and then it touches this clutch here. So we're just going to like move this out of the way, and then you can get this 13, this 13, I think the 13s, this clamp in the back of the alternator here, and then there's this here, comes off, but make sure that you put the battery back. I had to reconnect the battery to get that pulley off, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that back off a bit. And we're going to get to wrenching on these bolts and nuts back here. And here's a video of me pulling that lower bolt out. I've got it out, and you see if this fan was on here, this bolt hits the clutch, and you cannot get it out. There's no way to do it, so you got to get this clutch down, and then it's really easy to get out. Now that both of those bolts are off, took this nut off. This was a 13 as well. Got this and this off. Now this alternator should come out. We will, hit it with a mallet just to get it off of here, because these bushings here and these alternators kind of hold them in really strong. So to get a little pry bar, put it here and pry it a little bit, or get a little mallet and tap it, and it should pop right out. And here it goes. I just pried it out, and here it is. And you kind of gotta get these out of the way, but I can't do it holding the camera in and doing it at the same time. And here's the new one. Make sure that everything is the same. And this one you can hear noise. This one, no noise. So you make sure they're all the same. The bolt, how it goes. There's 90 amp, 120 amp, and 45 amp. So you'd like to get the right one of those, even though they seem to all bolt the same way, as far as what I can see. And that's it. You just put it back in, put that fan clutch back on, but I'm going to show you something. Here it is with the alternator gone and this fan clutch out. This threads into here, so I leave my Allen key there, and I'm going to put Loctite, some blue Loctite on here, and then I'm going to use the strap wrench to install this pulley. Even though I couldn't get it off with the strap wrench, I can get it on with the strap wrench. And if I have a thread locker on here, I don't really have to worry that much about it coming off. I'll make sure I put it on very tight, but some blue thread locker should do that really well. So when I put it back together, I'm going to put blue thread locker. And here's what that bolt looks like for anybody who's curious. There's another hole in here, so you can just pull it in back. Here's what it is, 8 mil, and a bolt like this. So I'm just going to put some blue thread locker. I've got this, it's a stick, and you just put some blue thread locker on it right at the end here, because that's all that goes into this this clutch here. And then tighten it down with the strap and with the Allen key behind it, and it should be very, very good. Okay, so everything's back in, the belt's back on. Here's the new alternator. So just a reiteration, what I did was I left everything exactly as it is. I put an Allen key behind here, inside that bolt, put it up against here, turn the car on just a little bit. Don't let it run. Just turn the car on and turn it back off. And that should pop this clutch off of the bolt back there. Then you can remove the bolt, and you can put this fan down and just push the fan down just a touch, and then you can get to the 13mm bolt that's down here on the bottom. Not this one. This one's the top one. The bottom one is right there, and then you have room to get past that pulley. And then just put it all back together. Put the alternator on first, and then you put the clutch back, and then put the belt back, and then we're going to start the car and see if we're getting proper voltage. We're inside the car. Oh man, I left the keys. Here we are. Start the car. First indication will be if the battery light actually goes out. Okay, so the battery light is not on anymore, which means that it's most likely fine. And then, so we're going to go up here. I've got the multimeter on the battery, negative, positive, 14.27 volts. That looks really good.